figure this out. Record, yay, okay. Let's hope it records what I wanted to record. Screen, all right, cool. So we're gonna do kind of what we talked about before, where we're gonna spend like the first 30 minutes, maybe not. I mean, it just gives us a good like schedule to follow with, and we'll spend it with kind of we call it like learning, teaching. I don't want it to be like a lecture kind of thing, because it's a Sunday, we don't want to do lecturing here, but I feel like there's a lot of cool stuff out there, a lot of stuff, at least that I've learned through, my past few years at GCFE and going to events, that what's cool is like all these stuffs can apply to like any business you do. So regardless of whatever you're building, whatever you're trying to sell, you can fit. And so the first thing we're gonna go over is called product market fit. It might have different names. It might, like you might have learned it in Cobb, but so it's probably existed for 20, 30 years, but no one until now has figured out a way to kind of actually measure it. And everyone that did usually had different ways. It's like you'd say, hey, I have product market fit, but here's the way I measured it. But someone measures it a completely different way. So do you really have PMF? It's not well known. So basically this guy named Rahul Vora, who's the founder and CEO of a software as a service company called Superhuman, which what they do is they take your Gmail and they dial it up to 10 and they like do this cool crap behind it, where basically the way they sell is like they turn your email to a way so you feel like superhuman. So you can do cool stuff. It's like really powerful machine. Like everyone that uses it loves it. I haven't used it yet. I mean, I haven't had a reason to, but like, it's for people who get like thousands of emails a day, it's those people. And so just a little side note, like I always use Crunchbase. It's a really cool website where you can literally look up every company out there, see how much money, see he's raised $108 million. So he's someone that we should, look up to. He has 250 employees. I mean, he had a company before this, but, it's just giving you guys a good idea of who this guy is, why we should listen to him. And he's really well respected. His method is also looked up to and respected by, people in the Valley and New York City, all over the place. So basically it's like a survey, and there's 4 questions, and you can literally copy and paste this. So the first one is, how would you feel if you could no longer use Superhuman or whatever your product is? And you have 3 options. 1 is very disappointed, B is somewhat disappointed, and C is not disappointed at all. And these other 3 is, what type of people do you think would most benefit from Superhuman? Ideally, what will happen is these people will describe themselves in a way. And if they don't, then what's cool is like they'll describe somebody, you're like, hey, you can literally use those attributes, put it on Instagram or LinkedIn, and you'll find your perfect match. Third one is, what's the main benefit? That's just a good way to kind of pat yourself on the back. Hey, this stuff's working, and how can you improve? That's the other stuff, what's not working. And so the one I bolded, this is the most important one. These 3 will help you like go in the right direction, but this is the one where I'll tell you if you have PMF or not. And so I didn't put the number on here. Oh, this is on the drive. If you guys don't have to like, take a picture or anything. Yeah, I'll share it. It's not shared. It should be. But the number is different for different industries, but I believe it's 40%. So based off the total people that answer your survey, if at least 40% answer A, you hit PMF and you are, I'm not saying you're golden, but you pat yourself on the back, have a break for a little bit and then just, keep chugging along, which means that, you've done all the hard work, people love you. So the reason this is really important, and this is very important, especially at early stage companies, pre-series A, pre-series B, when you're like kind of that early stage where you can fall at any moment. What this does is that the people who answer A, those are the people we want to focus on, because we want to try to cater to everybody, right, to a certain way. But the thing is, people that are not disappointed, they might use your product once or twice. These people here, maybe, but these are the people who are like, yo, if your service is gone tomorrow, I'm going to lose it. Like, they're the people, even if it's just 10 people, these 10 people can exponentially grow. And so these are the ones you want to focus on, and the rest are basically kind of just a distraction. They're the ones who you want to focus on, but maybe like 25, 30% of your energy. The rest of your energy, you want to focus on that core group. And what's cool is like, if you look at any big company that's out there, like Airbnb, Twitch are 2 of the big ones I can come up with, their early market was very, very small, like tiny. But now they're, multi-billion-dollar companies. So, it's, you got to know who that very disappointed person is. And again, once you hit 40%, which is very, very hard to hit, but once you hit that, you're solid. I mean, that's what everyone wants to get to. So yeah, I mean, that's it for anything. Like I said, it's very simple. It's just a survey that you send out, maybe every once a month, once a quarter, whatever, enough that you're not bugging him too much, but enough that, if I guess a month is actually pretty good timing. So that way it's not too much, but you kind of gauge where everyone is. And yeah, it's going to go up and down. It happens like every company. Very few companies hit 40%. And it's not to be scary. Like if you don't hit 40%, you're not going to like, your company isn't going to die, but it's a good way to kind of put yourself in the right direction, know who to listen to. Because I mean, I know there are a lot of startups that died literally because they listened to a group of people who said they were kind of like their product and be like, hey, you should have this feature, you should have this feature, you should have this feature. And they did it, but like all those people by then were like, I don't like it anymore. So they just left. So yeah, it's, when you're really early on, you have a very small team, maybe you're alone. You don't have a lot of money. I mean, if, most of us probably don't have a lot. You don't have a lot of time. You all have 24 hours in a day. And, we all got, other stuff we want to do, family, friends, eating. And so, it's very limited in that early stage. And so knowing who that very disappointed is, a lot of times if you're a survey, you might make it anonymous, you might not, up to you. But for the very disappointed people, we can, reach out to them and just say, thank you for doing that. So yeah, it's like a really, like I said, it's a very simple way to kind of gauge, where a company is, where it can be going, where you can improve. And I will link the actual article that they wrote, that they didn't write. A VC firm called First Round Ventures is like one of the biggest in Silicon Valley. They wrote a whole article about it. What's cool is this article actually links to a lot of other articles that can also help you out. So, for example, there's one by, I forgot her name. It's in here somewhere. Basically, it's the lady who was the head of growth for Airbnb, Uber, Lyft, really early on. And so she basically talks about how it's very similar to product market fit. Basically, what you want to do is you want to step back and you want to figure out who your customer is. Like, give them a name, give them a job. Like, my customer is a guy named Steve. He works at this place. He's 37 years old. The more specific you can get, the more you'll know who your customer is and how you can hone to them. So, I feel like this is like a really important thing. I don't know if they taught it in College of Business. I mean, I learned it literally 4 months ago.
We're literally doing this in Calgary Magic right now.
Damn. That's good.
Very similar version of this survey.
Yeah.
We're giving out to people, and then from them, we're helping to figure out a market size and who we need to spend the most amount of money on.
There we go.
So
there we go. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know those. Yeah, that took a little bit longer, but no, it's cool. So like again, like if you guys ever learn anything you want to share with everyone, just do like a really quick. It doesn't even have to be slides. You can literally just talk about it. We don't care. It's literally just supposed to be a really informal way for us to kind of share what we learned. That way, we all collectively can bring that together. If anyone on Zoom has like questions, I don't know if so like you guys can feel free to speak. Or
I like that though. It's good.
Yeah,
it's good. Like
it is. Awesome.
Maybe you can stop sharing your screen so we can see everyone.
No, it'll pop up if they want to talk.
Okay.
Yeah, I learned that. Yeah. Ooh. Don't worry, we're all improving our Zoom skills.
Oh my God.
See, there's 2 stop sharing. So that's Zoom. So that's go away. Okay, you guys see it too. Okay, good. Yeah. Okay, cool. So yeah. So the next thing we want everyone to learn how to do is how to pitch your company, and that's very important. And it's what's cool. The reason we want to do that is because some of the biggest accelerators in the country, even JMU, their accelerator, if you guys went through it, I know CJ, I think you went through that, right?
Yeah, I did. And I don't know if Pierre and Malik were there. I saw they were in the chat and they went through the program too.
Awesome. Who? Wait, sorry. Oh yeah, I don't think they're on here. Yeah, Malik was here in previous. Yeah, but yeah, I think he might have graduated. I think
he was a senior.
Yeah, Malik graduated.
Yeah. Yep. Graduated.
Hey, speaking of the accelerator program, though, November 5th for the opening of the new College of Business ceremony, the accelerator program cohort is going to be given like investor pitch kind of things. So I think it's going to be the evening of November 5th. I'll let you guys know when I get more information on it, but definitely come check it out.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I've always gone to those. I highly recommend you guys go to that. It's incredible to see like literally students who we're with, especially our people like CJ and Malik who are in SOE going through that, and then are you a senior? If you're,
junior.
I mean, honestly, it doesn't matter. Even if you're a senior, because CJ was a senior, but like if you're at JMU, literally apply to that accelerator. That's during the summer. They give you $4,000, you just chill in Harrisonburg, and you just work on your startup for 2 months.
It was a phenomenal program. Best job I ever have or ever will work.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah, and then you can definitely hit me up, CJ, Malik. Well, yeah, Malik's still in the chat, and then any of us, and to like ask any information. But yeah, we'll share that once that gets closer. So yeah, for pitching, like I said, JMU focuses on that for like a whole 1-2 weeks. Y Combinator, 500 startups. These are like the biggest accelerators. They funded Airbnb, Crunchbase 15 years ago. They focus on pitching for whole 1-2 weeks. And so your pitch doesn't have to be perfect, and probably your own mine is not. But I want you guys to get comfortable sharing what you guys have built and being proud of it. We're all nervous when we speak in front of people, but what's cool is like one thing I like is like entrepreneurship pulling me out of my shell. And I hope that does that for all of you. Like I'm still nervous when I speak, but I'm super excited to share about what I learned and like what I've built. And you guys should be too, because like at the end of the day, you want the people you spoke to fall in love with you and your product. Once they do that, you're in a good spot. And so, yeah, like every week, we'll set aside time for you to, practice pitching. You don't have to. It's like open floor. Like we're not forcing anyone to, but it's a really good, thing. You don't have to have it, completely out there. It can be like 3-4 slides and just, problem solution, what you're building is cool enough. Again, SOE is just like a way for us to like give you guys a way to kind of hone in your skills, get your company out there. So this is the pitch deck my company made for Accelerator. We applied to last May. We didn't get in, obviously, but it was really cool because like what's cool is like what I taught by one of my mentors, Patrick, is that you want to build a pitch deck that's like 5 minutes, and then so you can adjust it based on what different people want. 5 minutes is usually the industry norm, and 5 minutes goes by really fast. You will not realize that it goes by really fast, and literally you're in slide 13 out of 15, and like time's up. I was like, okay, okay, and that's something that is very important for us to practice because you don't want that to happen to you.
Yeah,
that is very embarrassing.
So I interrupt you. For 300, our pitch deck is less than 8 minutes. So that's our time requirement.
That's actually really short too.
I know, and there's 7 people. Everyone has to talk. Everyone gets to talk.
See, and that's even worse when you have more people. Yeah.
Coordinate that, but
everyone has to talk. You just said that, yeah. Dang.
Yeah.
See, it'd be nicer if you could like choose 2 people, because 2 is usually the biggest, is like the best. They can kind of like talk to each other. Because Hitch, which is one of the companies that was our mentor for when I did the accelerator, they had both of their guys, both their founders just talking. They just kind of talk to each other. It's like they had that chemistry, and like if you want to invest, you're like, hey, here's 2 cool guys that I want to hang out with for the rest of 10 years. And I don't know. I feel like 2 is like the optimal, but 7, ooh. We love you, College of Business.
Yeah, you guys know how it goes.
Yeah. Wait, is that this semester?
Yeah, it's this semester. It's November 1st through 5th is when we give the pitches. So we get assigned a day.
Hey, wait, CJ, when's the accelerator thing? Is that November 5th too?
Yeah, it's November 5th. It's going to be like 5:30 p.m., I think.
Gosh, yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
That should be fun.
We'll see.
We'll see. We'll cross there. All right, cool. So I'll go over this because I haven't pitched in like a couple months, so it's really rough. But basically, you want the first slide to be hopefully your logo or maybe something cool. But what you want is you want the first. So what I'm gonna do today, I'll just like go over it, kind of just like how things I've learned. And then after the meeting, I'll put in the group like a good amount of links of like to cool resources, YouTubers, and like forums that I'm part of that are like really interesting. That's where I learn all my stuff. I didn't learn anything college because I'm not sad they don't teach that stuff there. But yeah, so first thing you want to do. So the first rule of thumb is that investors are people, or like whoever you're talking to, they're people, and our attention span is very, very short. So you want to grab their attention the first 30 seconds, and whatever. Actually, no, I'm not going to share my pitch deck. I'm going to share the Brex. There it is. What am I doing? There we go. So Brex is a company. Have you guys heard of them by any chance?
No.
So they are a fintech company. This is really old. They're a unicorn now. But they basically issue credit cards to startups because as a startup, a bank will not give you a credit card. And they give you credit cards with like 10, 20x. Like it's basically credit cards for startups and early stage companies. That's what they are. They're really well funded. And so I'm actually going to share their pitch deck because theirs is perfect. And so basically, I said, you have 30 seconds to capture the attention. And that 30 seconds, you have to figure out, you know, what can I say about us or what we're building that can really grab their attention? For Brex, that answer was their team and investor. Because look at that list. Y Combinator, Ribbit, Peter Thiel, Max, Levchin. They're the founders of PayPal. Like, they're like, all right, the first 30 seconds, like literally the first 5 seconds, I'm going to show you who's in our team. Like, anyone that's in that room would be like, holy crap, who are these guys? I want to learn more. Because if these guys are part of it, it must be cool. So for them, that was their, you know, 30 seconds grab their attention. For you, it might be your product. Like, you could ask them a question. Like, for Germans, our what is it? Our hook is basically like, you know, imagine you're at a networking event, and you know, when you pitch, you are at a networking event, and you're trying to meet 10,000 people. You know, how are you going to do this? How are you going to do that? We're going to ask some questions, and then hopefully get that in there. But basically, what is that thing that's in your, you know, company? It can be anything. Like, if you're really early stage, it can literally just be about you. You know, maybe you went to a really cool, you know, business program or something. But yeah, it's, you know, you have 30 seconds, really short, but chances are, if you probably have something that can grab their attention. So for them, Brex, it was their team and their investors, which is, you know, top notch. The second one, and this is what you get into, that's your problem. So entrepreneurs can't get credit cards. And they literally applied for credit card. That's literally what this is on the right side. They literally applied for it, they got denied. And like literally 3, Capital One, Chase, and I can't read that one. I think that might be American Express. But yeah, you know, just one bullet. Oh, so one important thing is like, so there's 2 types of decks. One is investor. Second one is a pitch deck. Pitch deck is the one where you want a lot of pictures, very few words, because that's what you're talking about. Investor deck is the exact opposite, is because you're going to send that to someone, they're going to read it in an email, and if it's just pictures, they want to get what's going on. So if, you know, words helps out a lot more. Yeah, so they keep going with the problem because, I mean, by now, once you read this, everyone's hooked. Everyone's going to listen to you. So you can literally talk about whatever you want, and everyone will. You know, corporate cards have no controls. Yeah, this is another thing. Yeah, they're just going on with the problem. Showing the corporate card. Oh, so this is the addressable market. They're just talking about, you know, this is how much we can reach, and they're doing really well. They're like worth like what, 10 billion, I think. Yeah, and this is kind of how they're going through it. This is like 10 years old, so you know, that's why it probably doesn't look as like pretty, but it's okay. They have that right to do that. Yeah, so this is their first companies that they've gone after, and then they go into their value prop. You know, why sign up with Brex? You know, they give you higher limits, and I'm actually getting a crap ton of commercial or ads from them on Instagram, like 10, 20x limits. You know, they're not a bank, so they don't have all that stuff. You have to go through the bank. Yeah, and look, this is a really sleek card. Like, you want that. It looks really nice. Yeah, and they're showing what they've built. Like, here's what we've built. Their controls, and these are the companies I believe that they're partnering with. SoFi is a really cool company too. Yeah, so you know, it's just going through this like the more nitty gritty. So this is how much money they're going through. Oh dang, that's pretty cool. Actually, I haven't looked at this in a long time, but yeah, so that's a really bad choice of color. Yeah. It's okay. Yeah, and then they kind of close with their logo again. So yeah, I'll share this link. I know, because I think Business Insider just shared it at one point. But yeah, I'll share that link. It's a really cool pitch deck to kind of look through from a really well-known company. And yeah, it's, you know, starting next week, or you know, whenever we start, we could hopefully pick a better time. Today didn't work. You know, we'll just, you know, come through. If you don't want to talk about your company, you can literally give an elevator pitch about yourself, because that's also important. You know, you want people to know who you are. And, you know, we'll practice that over the semester. And hopefully by the time, you know, the semester of the year is over, and, you know, if some of you guys apply and get into the Jamie Accelerator, you guys will be top notch. You guys will be just like the model for what Jamie wants. And yeah, I mean, if you share your company, it's incredible. It's like a really cool skill. And like, you can share that. You can literally take that to like any job, like everyone will want you. So yeah, that's what we'll be doing over the semester. Anyone have any questions? I know I kind of talked a lot.
No, that's great.
All right, so now we'll just do, they call it roundtable. That's like the official term.
Yeah.
We'll just go around. Everyone can talk about kind of what they're working on. Should we record this part? I mean, it'd be pretty cool, because I think it'd be cool. I mean, I can edit it and like cut stuff off. We'll record it. It's fine.
We can record it and then just edit it.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't we start with Zoom people?
Yes, sir. I don't know what to do.
Stop sharing.
Oh, yeah, stop sharing.
That's a cool idea for business.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
It took them a long time to start because financial, oof, my fintechs are really tough, but they did it. They did it. So, all right, let's go in order. I talk too much. I don't want to talk again. I'll go last.
Someone talk on Zoom.
Actually, yeah, CJ, you kick it off. You know, you were in the accelerator, so I'd love to know, like, you know, so like we'll just spend this next 30 minutes just like, you know, sharing what we're working on. If there's any problems you have, share and help out. So yeah.
Yeah, hi everybody. My name is CJ. I just graduated back in May, and over the summer I was in the accelerator program. I'm the founder of Handy Cans. We specialize in ergonomic trash cans designed for accessibility. The basic premise is that instead of removing a full trash bag upward in the conventional motion, put a door on the front of the trash can so that way you can move it outward in a horizontal motion. Our target markets include those with limited mobility, such as the elderly or people living with disabilities, as well as people who empty trash a lot, like janitorial services. And our trash cans help people to promote independence, prevent injury, and help keep their homes and like offices clean. Recently, what I've been working on is, so it's been a little rough because I've got like a 9-to-5 kind of job, except it's more like 8 to 5, and I've been staying late a little bit. Like I've got the commute, so my time's been really, not a lot of time, but I've been trying to get, come into like Panera's on the weekends to get what I can done. Right now, I'm working on putting together my pro forma financial statements because the Madison Venture Club is going to use my company as one of the startup companies that they're like evaluating for the competition come November. And then also I'm in the process of filing my provisional patent application. I hired somebody off of Fiverr to draft it, and then I kind of like edit it to make it how I want it. I was going to file it today, but my buddy's dad is a patent lawyer, and he's pretty busy. So like I wasn't sure he was going to get a chance to look at it, but apparently he's looking at it today. So I'm going to try and get feedback from him, adjust it as I need to, and then I'm going to file that. So that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Wow, that is incredible.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
How's that income statement coming?
Well, mostly I'm just working on the revenue side of things right now. And then I've got like cost of goods sold is just 60%. So it's kind of spitballing in some directions, but I've got, hold on, I can screen share right now, right? I just disabled it.
I don't want to show myself.
You gotta
Oh, yeah.
like in the security or something.
Hold on. Give me a sec.
Hey CJ, can I ask how you came up with this idea? I mean, that's so cool.
The way I came up with it was like just before COVID happened. So it was like spring semester 2020. I was in small business and entrepreneurship class, and we were doing like come up with like a Shark Tank kind of like pitch, like effectively a mini COP 300. And I was trying to come up with a way to make a trash bag tie itself. And like part of how I was looking at that was like, okay, what if the trash can like opened up kind of like a butterfly opening to like pull the strings back? I did end up coming up with a good way to cinch the bag, although I actually am working on that now, but that's a different thing. But anyways, I realized that if like the trash can opened itself up, then you could pull the trash bag out rather than lifting it up. And then from there, I started realizing, well, the people who would be most benefited by that are those with like limited mobility, and then also like people who are, like janitors who are doing it every day and whatnot. So that's kind of how I developed it. And then let's see. Here is some of the pro forma stuff I've been working on. So this is like, this isn't done. I haven't really put my costs together, but this is what I've been working on. So like I've got over here, I put together all the different product lines I'll be working on for like the next 5 years kind of thing. And there's like 17 of them total. So that's a lot of different ways to get revenue. And then like the different markets I'm looking at. So there would be two categories. One would be the 13 gallon and one would be the 60 gallon. So for the 13 gallon, you've got like elderly living on their own, people with ambulatory disabilities, people living in nursing homes, pregnant women because it's hard for them to bend over, people who are moving because they end up buying trash cans, people getting married for the same reasons people moving. And then for like the 60 gallon, it'd be like janitorial services because they, are emptying trash every day, like institutions, like colleges and universities. One gentleman came up to me one day when I was at Panera, and he asked me what I was working on. He said that he worked at a gas station. He was telling me that it'd be great there. You see like outdoor parks and whatnot. Office buildings have a ton of trash cans in them, and then also like fast food restaurants have trash cans that get emptied a lot. So then what I did from there was like I made the progression of which ones I would be selling, which years, kind of like working my way up, because you can't just like jump in selling 17 product lines in the first year. I started off with one product line the first year, for the second year, like 7 or so the third year, etc. And also like which markets I was breaking into. And then I kind of spitballed that again, because what I did was I took the like the total number of people in the market, which like I got from like Google, basically. Like there's 12 million people living on their own who are over the age of 65. Actually, I think I got that from the census. And then I multiplied that by like what the percentage of people that would be to get is. And then I was like, okay, 60 seems reasonable for the first year, like 180 plus, or yeah, like 180 or so for elderly people the next year, kind of thing. And just kind of went based on what I thought was a reasonable guess, and then kind of progressed upward from there. So it's not like, I mean, like the more information you can base things on, the better off you'll be. But if you're gonna have to, like, if you're gonna like spitball it a little bit, just try and make it seem reasonable. Because like if I said, oh yeah, the first year we're gonna sell 10,000 units, like, well, I don't know about that, But if you make it like seem reasonable and as much information as you can base it off of, the better.
I like it.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Wow.
Can I ask how you like learned to graph all that? Like I know nothing about Excel, just generally, So that was so cool to see.
Well, I mean, so like this is from something I got in one of my classes. This is from the Avenger Creation. He had us like making income statements or whatever. And it's like, if you've got Cop 300, you'll probably have some kind of similar stuff, or you can find a template online. But basically for this, what I did was I just started, start small and work your way up. So I said, okay, well, what am I going to be selling? Like, okay, I want to sell like a 13-gallon plastic one, a 13-gallon metal one, a 13-gallon cabinet pull-out one, and then like combined recycling for each of those, and then like trash bags. And then from there, I said, okay, what's a reasonable price? And you go based on like what your costs are and like what the market will bear. Like you can buy a trash can anywhere from $10 to like $250. So it's like, okay, if I'm within that range, like outside of that range, it's not going to make any sense. So now I've got an upper and lower bounds for that. And then, so it's like, from there, I said, okay, cool. I've got all the different product lines I want to make. And then I said, all right, what are the markets I'm going to be selling in? So then I found the number of markets, or like the size of the markets, just by kind of Googling them. And then from there I said, okay, what would make sense for me to start off selling? And then how would I like build up from there? So it's like the first year I'm selling the 13-gallon plastic regular one, and I'm not introducing like the 60-gallon outdoor one until the 5th year kind of thing. Because it's not like the logical progression. Like the first year to the second year, I go plastic regular. And then the second year I go plastic regular and metal regular. And then as well as the 60-gallon plastic and the 60-gallon metal. So it's like things build like a stalagmite. They don't just like kind of jump from one spot to another. They build off themselves. So it's like, good to build that kind of foundation. So you just kind of try and start with like what you can and what you've got, and then build from there.
What's your name? James. I can send you a file with all that information on it. Yeah, I'll send that to you as all the calculations.
Good as gold.
We get it for our company.
If you want. John. All right. We're also going up, and it's not in order.
Yeah. What are we doing, Zoom people?
Yeah, Zoom, if you get anybody on Zoom, Jonathan, Tyler, or Jamie, anyone wants to talk about, what they're doing. You don't have to, it's up to you.
Good luck following that.
Yeah. And then, if there's any like issues you have to help with, definitely.
Hey, look, all I can say is consistency. All right. Like I'm not even as far as I think I should be, or where I'd like to be. Just if you do like a little bit consistently, that's better than not doing anything at all, because time is going to pass no matter what. So just get what you can done when you can, and just keep building off of it and just keep going.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so any of us want to?
Yeah, so I got something going on. So I'm Matt. I'm founder of Decent Suits, Jamie Business Apparel Company. The main purpose was to have a shop available for all the college business students to buy merchandise that was available year round, unlike the official college of business merchandise store, which is only available during some segments of the semester. And the other purpose was to build a brand for college of business students and alumni. The previous brands were like cheesy brands. You got Cobb, which people were making like corn jokes about. So I wanted to change that.
You can share your website if you want.
And the current thing that's going on that I'm trying to do is to be able to sell in person at the College of Business. The obstacle that I'm facing is that
Is your screen sharing?
is that
Wait, no, it's
because
not on Zoom. It is on.
is that because the College of Business or JMU is state property, individual businesses are not allowed to solicit on campus. But since I'm like associated or am an official merchandise vendor because I went through the JMU approved merchandise vendors, that allows me to sell official JMU merchandise. But they will not allow me to sell in person. So I'm trying to get that process done. See if that works.
Yeah, so that's something I think we talked about.
Yeah.
With the last week.
Hey, you updated.
Yes, yeah. So this is the official JMU official D's and Seats website, which
You gotta share it for the Zoom.
no, it's
That's the sharing to the screen up there.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. You gotta go back to the Zoom. You know, you do it. You gotta do it. You gotta learn it.
Matt,
Top right.
It looks much better. It looks great.
yeah.
That one. Oh, share. Share screen.
All right, there you go.
Full screen.
Yeah, so this is the official D's and Seats website. This is the only place where I can sell now because I have a e-commerce plan with WooCommerce, which I would advise all of you to go check out because it allows you to have a fixed. I think it's one of the cheapest ways to be able to sell online. So I got
Spelled?
what?
How's it spelled?
WooCommerce, WOO Commerce. So I have the meeting that I have planned for Tuesday is to meet with Katie Zook, who is in charge of the CFE, and we're going to talk about how SOE can either get a license to allow its members to sell, or if there are other opportunities in the CFE for individual businesses to sell. The main reason why I'm doing this is because I got inspiration from the innovator or the incubator program last year, in which they held an event where most or all of the businesses were either selling or promoting their business. And CJ was there. You can share if you like to his experience with that. So that's why I'm looking to sell on campus.
Nice. Nicely done.
I think Ethan and Jamie, I think you guys both need to do it, right?
Yes, I just signed the thing last Thursday.
Are you guys, is there anybody else?
Yeah.
Do you guys know or? You so far?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Your chair is so weird.
I know.
What is this feature?
What is the incubator?
The incubator, basically they connect you with professionals and they give you everything you need to either get yourself going or keep going wherever you are in your current business. You just gotta like meet every couple of months and promise that you're actually gonna work. And they provide you with everything you need.
Yeah. Is there any sort of like prerequisites? Is it voting that kind of thing? Is it like a
No.
competitive thing? Or?
No, sign the contract. And the contract mostly just protects your rights and property,
Okay.
so that they can't be like, hey, this is ours now.
All right, that's so cool.
Yeah.
CJ went through it, like, I don't like.
You have to give a brief.
Like, talk about like, experience through that.
Which program is this?
The incubator, right? You went to the incubator?
Oh, yeah. The incubator was honestly pretty similar to SOE. Basically, what it was is like we would have a monthly cohort meeting where everybody would just kind of like hop on the Zoom call is what we were doing it as, and say what they had done like that past month. And what kind of issues they'd run into, what kind of successes they'd have or whatever. And then also aside from that, you'd have a monthly meeting with Katie and you just kind of, talk with her and go over what you're up to. So it was more of like a support group kind of system, whereas the accelerator was more like it had like a lot more structure to it. Like we had a ton of guest speakers coming for the accelerator. And then they also like gave us the money, which it wasn't even like technically funding. Like it paid us like a job. Like I could have gone and blown it on cocaine hookers for all they cared. But like, the smart move is to take that money and put it in your business. So incubator is basically open to everybody. Accelerator, you had to interview for it, which is part of why they offer more resources for it.
Make it a crazy noise. Yeah. Mine gets a lot much louder.
You want to change that again? Okay.
All right. I'm John Meyer. I'm treasurer of SOE right now. I have a few things going on outside of school, but my top 300 project, I'm actually working on a sports supplement sampling business that I'm actually really excited about. And I'm kind of going to use top 300 as an accelerator for this business I'm working on. I'm getting the best of both worlds here. So right now we're actually pretty much similar to what we're pretty much similar to what CJ is working on. We're doing the pro forma income statement. We just finished up our market segmentation. So segmentation, targeting, positioning. And then we're also working on right now, finding out how much of our market will actually be reachable, and then how many sales we're going to be able to generate through that percentage. So that's what I'm working on right now. Outside of that, I have a detailing business that I'm putting zero effort into. And then I have this planner business. It's going to be an organizational tool for students specifically, so that you can really optimize your life and your time management skills and whatnot. But that's really slow because I'm working with a graphic designer, and it's just, it's a really slow process. My excuses are weak. It's just that I don't have time because I'm working on 300. But I feel like it's okay because 300 is a business in itself, and it's something I feel could be much bigger. I feel pretty good about it. But anyway, that's all with me right now.
Nice.
Bar
Track started as a top 300 idea.
So did Kung Fu Tea, the boba place, or it was like, yeah, it's like,
I'm not an idea, but someone else, obviously.
I know, it's awesome. Yeah, they're everywhere.
Yo.
They're all around the US.
Nice.
Yeah.
I got the lights from Bar Track on the Dukes and Suits thing.
What about it?
I got like a series of lights from Bar Track.
No, nice.
Nice. Yeah, they're awesome. They're up in the Nova, by the way.
Yeah.
They I don't want to take away their thunder, but they are, because I actually want to bring them over sometime. But basically what they did, they modernized the beer tap. So it's all electronic now, it's not all arcade. They're actually poured up pretty cool. They're killing it. So why not?
I'll sign out.
Oh yeah, fun fact, actually, I don't know if anyone knew this, but like the founder of Reddit, Alexis Ohanian, actually went to UVA.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so recently, him and the founder of one of the co-founders of Twitch, his name is Justin Khan. So during the pandemic, like a bunch of like well-known founders started their VC firms, and they were two of them. And they're early stage too. So like, I don't know. Let's see if we can get connected to someone at UVA who can connect to Alexis.
Yeah.
He is really cool.
Do you think they would have to be a UVA entrepreneur to be able to get connected?
Nah, I mean, cool part is about founders that I've met so far. Like, they're all willing to help you out. Like, everyone knows how tough it is, and like, it's the whole community. Like, you'll figure that out. You'll know that in the accelerator, so we can talk about that too. Like, is everyone like, we have limited time, and we're working on our thing, but like, if they can spend 2 minutes helping out this one founder, like, that means a lot to me. So, yeah, I mean, I'll try and see what happens. Like, I mean, UVA is like literally right there. So
Yeah, no, I have a really good buddy at UVA.
well, we'll talk with probably faculty or something. That probably have like better.
Yeah.
But yeah, well,
That's true.
like that's something I didn't know. I learned that like last week because I just looked up. I looked them up on Google and said, I was like, wait, what?
For you guys on the Zoom, can you hear us well? So,
Yeah, I can hear you.
There you go, Tyler, good enough.
right.
Yeah, no, it's, I don't know if these, I don't know, do these TVs have microphones? 'Cause I mean, if we're streaming on them, I'm hoping they would, that'd be pretty cool.
Also, thank you, Jonathan. We're glad to see you.
Yes.
See, that right there is part of my.
You know what we need? We need one of those like 360 cams where like the Zoom people can.
Yeah, I know, we gotta,
Yeah.
you know,
I don't think I'll.
I mean, this is the first semester, I feel like.
Yeah.
Were people in this? I don't know if people were here last year, but like. We do a cool, like, little camera like up there, anything like stream. That'd be cool.
That would be. smart.
Yeah.
It would make a lot of sense. Too.
Yes.
I wonder if they already have cameras on there. We don't know.
Yeah, it's a
Yes.
work in progress.
Okay, so we have about 10 minutes left. Does anyone else want to share anything? Or interesting?
Um,
I haven't started a company yet. I haven't bought it.
Actually, yeah, Ethan, if you want to share what you're building, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm doing a card game. So we're currently, we made a really big change. It fixed about 70%. That is, if you get targeted and you lose, you don't immediately lose the game. You're still in the game. You can recover. Which was a big problem we had earlier. But right now I joined the incubator. So I think we're gonna start moving once I learn a bit more about getting the files for establishing a company. Start moving. I think gonna put it on Kickstarter. Seems like the best option for funding. And that I'm joining the board game club so that I can find people who I can test. I would love to try that. You should bring it to one of our SOEs.
Yeah.
Of course, definitely. How many people can play it? Right now it's about 3 to 6. 3 to 6. We're currently doing like an online thing with a website. So we play test every like Saturday. Okay. But we don't have enough people. You play it online? Yeah, we play it online. We have, I think it's like play card games.io or whatever. Has a thing you can set up a card game table. And we just alter the stuff. And we can put our cards in. So interesting. Yeah, I got a Discord server if you want to join. Yeah. I don't do Discord. I don't know really what. That's what we do for the voice chat. I see it calling, but not hip enough. No worries. Shadow War. Oh yeah. Any of you have played Coup, it's got a little bit of Coup in it as well. Never heard of it. Coup is interesting. It's a lot of bluffing.
Makes sense, cool. So is coup kind of like, like you're trying to, like, deceive people and like just kind of take over?
Yeah. The brief rundown of Coup is you have like there's 5 different characters, each with different abilities. You have 2, but they're face down. And those are your lives. And you can block with your abilities and your goal is to make every player only, make you be the only one who has a character left. Through making it a tool assassinated. Correct me if I'm wrong, is this Lord of the Rings based or no? But it started as Lord of the Rings, but it's completely removed from it. Okay. It started in a D&D campaign in Middle Earth. Cool. So yeah.
I've always wanted to try it.
Yeah, we did we've altered it a lot. So we consider Middle Earth because you don't exactly have the D&D wizards in Middle Earth. Yeah. All right, well, cool.
It's awesome. Does everyone want to hear that? I'm moving forward.
It is what it is. It's too late now.
We're working on it.
Yeah, oh well.
You know what? We can get a microphone. We got this one. We can get a microphone.
Yeah,
and
sure.
for laptops.
Yes.
That's what we can. We're starting our YouTube journey. Yay. Yeah. So yeah, the cool part about SOE is like you can treat this kind of like a little startup too. So like all the stuff we do here, like marketing SOE, setting up the meetings, like recruiting people, that's like hiring. So like, there's all this cool stuff that you can like apply to your business or, if we eventually have to get a job.
Why would I want to be paid by someone else?
I don't pay myself.
The passive income from YouTube, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna pay all of them. The adventures of SOE. Tune in now for the ads.
Awesome. Yeah. So here we'll do the meeting thing again, dude. So like Sunday 2 p.m. is that like? I mean, we actually had a pretty good turnout today, so I'm not gonna. I mean, it worked out for me. I'm pretty open, so like.
Yeah.
Good for me.
I'm happy with this stuff.
All right, so I'm gonna make the next meeting the October 3rd, Sunday.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay. October 3rd it might be a top event. Unless my marketing professor had the wrong date, she told me October 3rd, there was some sort of meteor type of situation.
I think you have some. I don't know.
I don't know either, but
We'll figure it out, but I mean, if this doesn't work for anybody, you can, I know Tyler, you said that like, football, I know that's Sundays, there's conflicts in that, but like, I don't know, Sundays feels like a good day. We can do it earlier if we want to.
Yeah.
If you can even bring food here, it doesn't matter. It's like, it's the weekend, I'll be able to visit with, so it should be good.
right.
But yeah, we can stay on a group meeting, we'll adjust it if need be. But yeah, today was a good turnout. It was awesome. Thank you for coming. CJ, definitely, like, I actually didn't expect because I knew you graduated, but thanks.
Yeah, thank
popping
you.
in.
Thank you.
For showing us.
You gave us a lot, bro.
Your pro forma and all the information, right?
I'm glad you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah. Alrighty,
Awesome.
well,
Yeah,
thanks so
well,
much.
It's good seeing all you guys.
We'll end the meeting and catch you guys next week.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Thank you.
And the recording.
Yeah, see you.
See you. Yeah. See ya, John.